Hey everyone, welcome back to the Creator Cafe. It's episode 5, and I'm joined with Mel Torrefranca. And do you want to give us a little bit of a background about who you are and what your creative process is, like what you do?
Sure, sure. My name is Mel Torrefranca, and I'm a YouTuber and entrepreneur from Northern California. I pretty much write books and make videos about my random experiences. Hopefully, I'm going to pursue entrepreneurship soon with all of my projects and stuff. But I'm still getting started with everything, but hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, I'm sure you are because you tell me all your what you're working on and stuff, and it sounds like you got a good rhythm going, and like some pretty cool stuff. And you
Thanks,
wrote
yeah.
a book, right?
Yes, I did.
Leaving. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? I don't think I've even asked you yet. Surprise.
Sure. Yeah, Leaving Wishville is a young adult magical realism novel, and I started writing it at the beginning of my freshman year of high school. It took me a long time actually, the first draft of writing the book only took me a month. I wrote it during, have you heard of NaNoWriMo?
Yeah, I attempted to do that one time,
Oh, you
but
did, really?
yeah.
Yeah, well, I wrote the first draft during NaNoWriMo, so during the month of November, and then I pretty much spent a couple years just on the editing process alone. And I decided to publish the book through my hybrid publishing house, Lost Island Press, which I recently founded. And I'm hoping to publish more books through Lost Island Press and then eventually get some other authors publishing through it as well.
That's cool. How did you even get started with like your own publishing house? Like, what's the story behind that?
Oh, so traditionally, when you want to publish a book, you have to go to all of the traditional publishing houses. But before you can even reach out to them, you have to go through an agent usually.
Mm.
And getting an agent on board with your work is really hard because they get so many queries and it's really competitive. And I sent query letters to probably nearly 100 agents, and I got several people asking for partial requests, like to see the first 3 chapters,
Oh,
or even to see like the full manuscript, but they all ended up being rejections. And I decided to eventually self-publish. So it was a really hard process because there's a lot to learn about how to publish a book, and just distribution, marketing, and everything is just really complicated. And so I realized that traditional publishing and self-publishing were both really challenging in their own ways. And I think for authors, they should just be able to write and not have to worry too much about the publication part. So I wanted to create like a new way of publishing that's not as competitive, but also doesn't have too challenging of a learning curve.
I like that. And then I actually looked up fairly recently, like, well, how do I publish a book?
Yeah.
Because like I had some stuff written, that I was thinking about, or like for later on, publishing and stuff.
Hmm.
I looked it up; it seemed really complicated,
Yeah, it
and I was
is.
like, maybe okay, maybe self-publish. So I checked that out, and that still seemed complicated, and I was like,
Hmm. Yeah, both
this might take
paths
a
are just
while.
so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool though. And then what you mentioned, like you started like a more of a unique way of publishing.
Right.
Like, what do you mean by that?
So, with traditional publishing houses, they usually offer the authors an advance.
Mm,
So, pretty much a chunk of money based on what the expected sales are going to be from the book. And then with self publishing, obviously, you don't get that because you're funding yourself. Self publishing the right way to look competitive and have a book that looks similar to the books that are going to come out of a traditional publishing house is going to be super super expensive because to compete you'd want to have a professional editor, professional cover design. And
right.
so traditional publishing is like super free, you get money, and then self-publishing is like very expensive. So I was trying to create something in the middle where not really, it's not free, like there is a fee to get published, but that fee is mostly to cover just the cover design and other design aspects of the book itself. But in terms of the editing and the proofreading and everything else like that, it's done in-house. So we're able to make it a lot cheaper than it would be for a normal self-publisher, but we also don't offer an advance. So like financially, it's somewhere right in between.
Okay, that's nice to have. And also, like, speaking of your going back to your book, like, what
Yeah.
inspired you to like, yeah, what inspired the story behind it? And, like, is Wishville a place too, like a real place? I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I get this question a lot, and honestly, in terms of the story, I don't really know what inspired it. It kind of just, I mean, it changed so much since I first started writing it. So even if something did inspire that original story, it's nowhere near that. But in terms of the place Wishville, it was inspired by a lot of small towns in Northern California. I grew up, like, I've always been here in Santa Rosa, in terms of like going to school and where my parents worked and stuff. But when I was younger, I actually lived about 30 minutes from here in Guerneville, California, which is like a super small, tiny town here. And so I sort of consider Santa Rosa my hometown, but Guerneville was like a very big part of my childhood. And just the vibe of Guerneville is kind of what I based Wishville on, because Wishville is also a very small town, not a real place, but definitely inspired by like the foggy mornings here and the ocean small town feel.
Well, that's cool. So it's kind of based on like your personal experience, like growing up in like a small
Yeah,
town. Okay, that's cool. And then going back to like entrepreneurial things,
yeah.
like what motivated you to like get into that, or did you always know that you wanted to do entrepreneurship, or how did that all begin?
I definitely didn't always know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. When I was younger, I was always really good at math and science and just good at school in general, I guess. So I always thought that I should pursue something that was more challenging, like try to be a doctor or a pharmacist, something in the medical field, maybe an engineer or architect, something along those lines. But as I grew older, I realized that I always struggled between balancing my hobbies and like my personal interests versus school and trying to get into a good college and stuff like that. And especially when I started my own website when I was younger, I realized that I really liked social media and marketing and also web design and just the online communities in general. And so it was sort of a slow process of realizing that I actually wanted to pursue my creative interests as a career rather than chase something through academics.
Yeah, I really relate to that. You know, like growing up, like I was also like that student that, not to be like egocentric, but I didn't really need to
Yeah.
try that much, you know?
No, I know what you mean.
And then, yeah, I'm currently, going pursuing like PA. I mean, like you already know, but maybe like the audience probably doesn't know like my life story
Uh-huh.
stuff, but yeah, I really feel that. And that's cool that you like took the step, to pursue that.
Scary step.
Yeah. Like, how do you
Yeah.
feel about it too? Like, as far as like the future, like going forward, like, okay, how am I gonna do this? Like, do you have like your
Mhm.
roadmap or?
Gosh, like in the beginning, I was really stressed out about that because I didn't have a like. There's so many or there's so many unknowns in entrepreneurship. Like, if you want to go into just like a normal career, there's a pretty solid path. Like you go to college and then you look for a job, you get a job. But with entrepreneurship, it's just like so messy, and I was kind of scared that I wasn't going to be able to handle it or wasn't going to be able to make it work. But as I've been thinking about it and as I've been doing more freelance work and making more money online, I'm starting to be more confident in my abilities to like figure stuff out. And so I'm a huge planner. I'm always trying to plan like my future, and
Yeah, I
I've
do. I have
just
notes, of
yeah.
like, okay,
Mhm.
and I update it like every month. Okay, new.
Oh, yeah, yeah, same. So, yeah, but I've been trying to get more comfortable with not planning my future too much. Like, I know that next year I'm going to move to Madrid, and then after that, I don't know, I'm just gonna see where that takes me.
Yeah, and then I feel like um when pursuing entrepreneurship, I guess you got to get comfortable with like uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you do.
unpredictability, because
Uh-huh.
like anything can really happen. You kind of just need to. But that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
trying to find a plan. I feel like because I realized I was thinking about it myself the other day. And like there's the plan is that there isn't a plan basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Is that like a
I think
paradox, I think, right?
it's probably why a lot of people are attracted to entrepreneurship is just like the uncertainty, it's kind of risky, and I think that's sort of what makes it fun as well.
Yeah. And also, like we're young, so like risk now is like easier to handle and stuff like, well, we
Mhm.
don't have as many responsibilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, what would you tell someone that wants to like get into it a little bit more?
Oh gosh. I would say just keep pursuing your creative interests on the side as much as you can, and don't really let it interfere with school or the other responsibilities that you have until you're sure that you want to pursue that direction. Just try to balance both as best you can while staying sane. And then
While staying
eventually, when you
sane.
feel confident in making a decision, you can choose the path that's right for you.
Yeah, definitely. Or what about like I know in your case, like you picked one, and you went, but like, what are your
Mhm.
thoughts on like doing both?
I know there's a lot of people who do both, and I think it's totally fine. Um, Everyone's gonna have their own circumstances, and it might not work for everyone to just choose creative path right at the beginning. But you can always change it as you go along. Like no path you choose is final. It's you can always go back to college, or you can always quit your job. Nothing's permanent.
Yeah, definitely. And also, like going back to like your different ventures and things, like how do you stay on top of everything? Do you have like break days per se, like or are you always like working on
Yeah.
something at all times? Or how do
Honestly, I hardly stay on top of stuff. I mean, I have my planner just so I can keep track of everything that I'm working on, but, I start to go kinda crazy, and usually how I just take a break from everything is I hang out with friends and just be a normal person for, like, a day or so, and that usually helps clear my mind by the time I'm done. My burnout is usually all cleared up and I'm ready to hop back into everything. But yeah, it's pretty much a constant process of juggling everything and trying to write it down so it makes sense to me. But, you know,
yeah. Like for me, like I have that list of things I need to do too. I started using that
yeah.
Trello app to plan, and we're not sponsored by
Mhm.
them, but like so far it's a pretty good app. So like check that out if you want. Um, but for me, like how because some I have so much things on my list, but I
Yeah.
don't get all of them done. What I mean? I
Never
could.
enough time.
No, I mean I do have the time though, and then but it doesn't. It doesn't happen.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
I
I
don't
get
think,
some of it. I get like
uh,
a few things knocked off like each day,
right.
but like I could do more.
Mhm.
Like,
But
do
I
you have
also
that
think
sometimes?
yes, all the time. I probably like every single day I never complete everything on my checklist because I have like such high expectations of how productive I'm going to be. I never quite reach it. But I also don't think that people should be pushing themselves too hard all the time. Like I think it's good to set goals, but you shouldn't be like super hard on yourself if you don't reach them all the time. I had this one friend who I met online through like a writing group chat, and she always said that she set her goals to in terms of writing to not actual word counts because that's a thing that a lot of us do. We try to reach a certain word count every day, but she tries to set it to like how she's feeling about the story rather than
Oh, okay.
yeah, like she would instead of setting something like write 200 words or 2,000 words today, she would say like make progress on the character development or something like that, which makes it a lot more doable. And I think that's kind of an interesting idea that I should try out as well.
Also, I read because, like, sometimes I see, like, writing posts and stuff on my
Yeah.
Explore page, and then,
Mhm.
I read one of them, it was talking about, like, writing, like, your favorite parts of the story first or something, or,
Mhm.
like, getting those out of there. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely do that a lot. Not really my favorite parts, although I do jump to my favorite parts sometime. Like if I'm really excited about writing a certain part, I'll just write it while I'm excited about it. but I definitely hop around. I don't write everything in order. Like I write the parts that I know,
Hmm.
and then I go back and fill in the gaps and add stuff to make it work. So yeah, it's definitely not a chronological process for me.
Okay. Because like for me, like when
Mhm.
I was writing stuff and like I'm gonna start doing it again, but and like I kind of wanted to do it chronologically, so I have every little piece there, so it makes
Right.
sense. But that might be an interesting thing to try. Like hopping around a little bit more
Mhm.
might also
Well,
help to like stay motivated because like
mhm.
there's boring parts and well like
Yes.
boring parts in the story where you don't really want to
Mhm.
write it.
Yeah, yeah, I totally jump over those sometimes. I think it still works fine.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's something I'll try then. Seems pretty cool. What upcoming projects do you have as far as writing?
Oh gosh,
Or
I
are they a
have
secret? Like, are we not
no,
supposed to
no,
know?
no, it's not a secret. I'm
Okay.
working on one called Capsule. The title's confirmed on that one. I'm I think I just finished like the second draft of it, or I'm like
The whole
almost done.
story?
Yes, the whole
Oh, wow.
story. I did so there's NaNoWriMo in November, and then they have Camp Nano, which is
I've
like
never heard of that one.
yeah, it's like you can set your own goals, so it's not strictly 50,000, and that happens in April and July. So I'm doing it April
Oh, wait,
and
that's this
July.
month, huh? That's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
oh,
And I set my goal to 50,000, so I'm pretty much doing NaNoWriMo twice this year.
1,000 words, pages, or
50,000 words, yeah. So
oh,
I did 50,000 in April, and that was the first draft of Capsule. And then right now I'm writing my second one. So right now Capsule's on hold, and I'm working on my new story, which is exciting. And I haven't talked about this other project I'm working on, but I don't really mind sharing it. I've also been, because my grandpa, he's from the Philippines, and I'm helping him write his memoir, which I'm really excited about from like his experience growing up there. Completely different than the other writing projects I'm working on, but yeah, that's exciting as well.
that's cool. Like, what is Capsule about? Or is it can I know or
Uh,
is it
no, no, no. Well,
okay.
well, I'm fine sharing stuff, but like keep in mind that my
It could
plots
change
change
or
a lot,
okay, yeah.
so it could change like drastically. But like just as a general idea of what the story is about, it's pretty much centered around a mysterious video game, I guess you could call it, that downloads itself onto the main character's laptop and phone and is threatening the lives of two people who go to her school.
Oh, geez.
So it's pretty it's pretty much like I guess it would be considered sci-fi, and
Have you seen the newest Jumanji?
I
Where it's a
haven't,
video game?
no.
Okay, well, yeah, it reminded me of that when you said, like, a video
Oh
game that's, like, on
really?
it yeah, like, trying to yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
just
like a
reminded me of that.
like game and real life merging together
Yeah, that's what it
kind of
was,
thing.
basically.
Really? I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, maybe you can, like, even take some parts of it, like, kinda twist it and, like,
Yeah, yeah.
include it somehow.
So how do you feel about the whole PA path that you're on right now?
Oh, that's a pretty tough question, I feel like, because 'cause I'm constantly, debating about that. Uh, wow, there's a lot to it. Personally, for me, like, to be completely honest with everyone, I'm primarily going to be a PA or like I'm on that pathway because I need funding to fuel like my other ventures that I have that I want to do in the future and that I'm currently, setting up slowly but surely. I don't know if that's like the right reason to be a PA. Like I
Right.
know because like some of my PA friends follow me and yeah, they probably agree like that's probably not the good reason to pursue it, because especially like the amount of rigor and the amount of work that you need to do to become one. Like I think that or they would probably say that, oh, you need to have like a, passion in medicine, like you need to know that it's for you and stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, personally for me, like I have so many ideas that I want to do and like creative
Yeah.
things and like business building and stuff and just all sorts of things and ideas that I want to do, not necessarily pick just one thing. I'm gonna
Yeah.
probably start going on a rant for like the next 10 minutes or so, but I'll try to keep it short. Basically, I don't know, I'm really questioning it, but
Mhm.
For now, I'm still going for it, so I have that
Right.
there, and then maybe like right now, this is like my path. I'm just going to like PA there, but then maybe I'm working on different things, and then maybe all of a sudden, like, oh, one of my things takes off, and then okay, let's just and then I don't have to
Right.
anymore, and then I can go
Do you
do
ever
it.
feel like at school when you're working on stuff, um, like when you're doing homework, do you ever feel like the homework is a distraction from the stuff you really wanna do? 'Cause
Yeah,
that
I think it's
happens
a
to me
waste
a
of
lot,
time. I'll
like
tell you that.
yes, yes, exactly.
Because I'm looking at it, I'm like,
It's like
I'm never gonna use this. Like, I'm genuinely not gonna
mhm,
use these. I mean, there's some things that I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep
right.
some of that. Like psychology, like it had good stuff for me. Like, okay,
True, true.
marketing, I can use that because people think this way about, or even writing.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite class actually was AP Lang. It was IB AP because my high school had the IB thing in it. But anyways,
Oh, right.
because I know stuff about ethos, pathos, logos, stuff like
Mhm.
that. That was cool. And like rhetorical analysis, like I liked that kind of stuff. And like that'll help me with the writing stuff. Like when I actually do publish things later on, maybe I'll finally finish my eighth grade book that I never finished. Um, but yeah, otherwise, like I'm not gonna use most of these things.
I totally agree, yeah. It's
Or why
like
can't why why can't I pick the things that I want to do, and
mhm,
not have it matter so much as far as a grade? Like it's supposed to be about
right,
learning,
yeah. It's gosh, it's so frustrating
but it's
to be
more of a
doing
grade
work for
now.
stuff, you're not gonna use. You're just doing it for the grade, yeah.
Doing it for the grade, which will then be looked at by other schools. So then, oh, now you can get more grades to,
Yeah.
get a paper that lets you do certain jobs. Even though I feel like some companies are moving away from that, though. Have you seen some of the
What
bigger
do you
like tech
mean?
companies are moving away from
Uh
like requiring diplomas and stuff like
oh,
that?
right, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, is it going to be relevant in like the next few
I
decades? You know
oh
what I
gosh,
mean?
I honestly don't know. So many people are turning away from it now, and just there's so many ways you can learn online as well, like,
Hmm.
even just with YouTube, it's
Google.
crazy. Yeah. So
I've learned
and
more stuff through the internet. I feel like more useful stuff
definitely,
through the
definitely.
internet. And not to talk bad about like schools and teachers and stuff, but just like
Mhm.
the content, like that
Yeah,
we learn and like the way we learn it, it's not.
right.
I feel like it's losing relevance,
Mhm.
or at
And I
least for
think
me.
there's
Like for some people, they might like that structure
yeah,
of
yeah.
school,
Mhm.
or their profession they want to do, like they know what they want to do. It requires that, like, doctor, engineer, you
Mhm.
probably you should probably know, like,
Yes, yes.
how do I take care of a patient, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, that
like, it's like you need that for
that's
those kind of
exactly what I
reasons.
was gonna say. Like, for people who know that they wanna be, like, for example, doctor, they see school as, like, the stepping stones to be
Hmm.
where they wanna be, but if you're on a completely different path, like, those stepping stones are not relevant to you at all, and it's just frustrating to be in that place where you're, like, you're trying to do well in school, but you know that, for yourself and for your goals, it's actually not doing anything for you. So
It's
so
yeah.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so let's say all of your like, you're working on getting a lot of stuff started right now.
Yeah.
Let's say it goes well and you start making pretty good money off of it, or it's showing a lot of potential. Do you think that'll give you more of a reason to
Yeah, definitely, because it
okay,
shows that, like, I did it, oh, I'm doing it, so then maybe
right.
I don't need to take this path. Maybe I can just, go off,
Mhm.
enter, like, the windy path that we talked about
Yeah,
earlier,
exactly.
Like, but yeah, definitely. Actually, now that you mention it, like, I just had that MPS meetup yesterday.
Mhm.
I brought this. I think I showed you this.
Oh, cool.
Did I? I did, right? I
No,
sent you a
no, no,
video.
I don't think you did.
Here, we'll do a
Wait,
live
is
demo.
that the Tappy card?
No, I made my own.
Oh, you did.
Happy that okay.
I just bought
I
a
don't know if I'm
Tappy.
allowed to say like their company name and stuff in this, but okay, I
Okay.
will.
Mhm.
But other cards like this, NFC cards, there's blue and there's tappy. You can't customize it to your liking.
Like
You
the
know, they
look
have
of
their
it,
brand
right?
on it. They
Yeah,
have like a
yeah.
specific design. They like one of them. I think they let you put your name on it, and that's about it.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna do my own too, and like you can customize this however you
That's
want,
so
front and back.
cool.
You know, if you want to put text and image, whatever, and also on, you can even put it on your own. I can link it to other people's websites. You know, like your
How
own
did you
website
I
if you
don't
have
know how
one.
you do that.
You have to, you have to like program it onto the card and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Or I might even host like on, that domain I just bought, Delam Tech.
Huh.
Wait, I should. Oh wait, this is coming out later. It'll be set up by the time this comes out, so I don't
Okay,
need to
okay.
worry about spoiling anything. But yeah, I think I'm gonna put it on there for now. Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put it on there, and then I
Mhm.
can host. Here, let's just do a live demo. Like if you're
Okay.
listening to the audio version, you're not gonna be able to see this, so I say hop on YouTube if you want, and you can watch this. So basically, I have my card here. It's made out of PVC, like the same material and like those PVC pipes, if you heard of that. So it's durable. It's not paper, it's like a little bit more durable and it's waterproof. I'm advertising right now a little bit, but
Jeez, wow.
anyways, so inside of this, there's a little NFC tag, and what that is, it's a near field communication. Basically, it uses like a magnetic field, and if you have a device that's compatible with that, like basically all the new phones, both Android and iPhone, have this compatibility with NFC. So basically, I programmed the NFC tag to link to my website, which has all my links. And basically, so I have my phone here. It's unlocked. It's kind of blurry. I don't know if I can refocus that, but if I just take this, put it either front or the back, you can see a little thing popped up. It says website NFC tag. Pop that open. It pulls up my website. I don't think you can see it on here, but you can see if I do it
Yeah,
like
you can
this,
see
huh?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I put like my own gradient and stuff. I didn't this is just like the preliminary version, but I have all my links. I got my Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Can put any of your links on there.
That's
Put
awesome.
images if you want. I want people to
Mhm,
have full customization because I like unique things, and I
mhm.
feel like if other people think that's cool too, then I think it'll be really beneficial too.
So
Because yeah,
oh, sorry. Sorry, you were
yeah.
on a
Did you wanna
No,
say
I was
something?
just gonna ask, so you're starting, like, a business around this? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I at least want to pay off the printer that I bought for like 500 bucks.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know when you get started, because I want one of those.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Should I include that whole little advertisement I just did in this?
I mean, sure, yeah.
I think it's fine.
It's pretty cool how it works. I mean, not a lot of people are using that sort of thing, so I mean,
Not
when I
yet. That's the
first saw
thing,
it,
you know?
I saw it on an ad, and I never buy stuff from ads, but when I saw that Tappy ad on my Instagram page, I just bought one right away because it
Oh,
was
you
so
did?
cool. Yeah.
Nice. Well, not nice actually, because you can get a better one, more customized
Yes,
one.
I'll have to upgrade to yours. Sorry, my these earpods really suck. They keep slipping out.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, like I like because I kind of centered the idea around like, hey, I like unique things,
Mhm.
Like I like, and Nike has this option where you can like customize your shoe, and I like put my name on them for track.
Oh, nice.
And then
Uh-huh.
that became a whole thing about the Malad ones. That's what the name of the shoes were. But yeah, I just like customizing things.
I think a lot of
So
people do.
I put my interest into this because like I would get
Uh-huh.
it, and I think that's important for like business ideas. Like you need to actually
Right.
like and like you would get it yourself.
Mhm.
So I think
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
definitely.
Yeah, that's my rant about I think school and then my new cards that I'm making, I'm going to make. Um,
Uh,
what do you have going on?
pretty much just my books, and I'm also trying to do more marketing for Lost Island Press. I've been I've been trying to figure out what to do with my YouTube channel because I've been
I
doing
haven't
so much.
watched anything on there yet, actually,
I know
but I probably
there's
will.
probably not much to see right now. It's all chaos. I've been hopping to all these different topics because, like, I'm sure you're probably the same. You like a lot of different things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the heck do I make videos on? So I've just been making videos on everything, and that's not good for like just SEO in general and stuff. So I'm trying to focus on not necessarily a niche, but just trying to make everything work together better, or
Yeah, that makes
where it
sense.
makes sense. So um, I'm thinking of taking my channel in the direction of writing and entrepreneurship, trying to focus on those two things and seeing how that goes. Because I know right now my writing videos have gotten really popular, and I did a
Because I don't think
poll
many
like,
people are making those, or at least the ones that are
yeah,
out,
yeah,
they're old from years,
there's not too many writers
especially
on
like,
YouTube.
our age too, like
Yeah, for
younger
sure. Yeah,
writers.
so it might be good to. I'm really hesitant because I mean I used to run a website called Teen Authors Journal back in like seventh, eighth grade, and so I always like, for the longest time I was, I guess, branding myself as like the writing girl, like, oh, she's made the website about writing, and like everything was about writing to me. And I guess I'm just sort of hesitant to go that direction with YouTube because I just don't want to be stuck there again, where it's like everyone knows me as the writer. It's like I can't talk about this other entrepreneurship stuff I'm working on. It's like, you don't want to trap
You
yourself in a
you
box.
okay? You want me to give me my thoughts on that?
Yes, go
Because like, I
ahead.
have something similar-ish.
Uh-huh.
Because I think it's fine. I think I'd say go. First of all, I'd say go for it. Like put whatever you want. Like don't worry about like, oh, if you're known a certain way. Because for me, like I'm the photo guy. Like I'm like
Right,
the
right.
photographer.
Uh-huh.
No, literally, like even at school, like in high school, everyone's like, "Oh, you're the guy that takes photos." Like, hey, it's him. Like,
Uh-huh.
or the guy that started MPS. Because that whole photography thing. But
Right.
I kind of want to start doing more things. Like I'm starting to. I have pixel art ready to incorporate into my brand. I'll probably put one up for the promo for this, like a pixel version of me like pointing at it or something. But yeah, that's because like I want to start doing other things, and I mentioned like maybe I'll start writing too again.
Mhm.
Maybe you kind of brought me back into that world a little bit. But yeah, like I don't think it really matters what people like know you for at the time, or like you know
Okay.
what I mean, like or don't let that
Mhm.
hold you back from like pursuing other things. Like
Right.
maybe only thing that will kind of probably affect that, I feel like, because if you have all your writing content and stuff, people know
Mhm.
you for that, and then that's your audience, writers.
Yeah, that's the issue too.
But then maybe in the short term, like okay, and then you start posting other things, like just say you want to do cooking, like you start making cookies, and then they're like, what is she doing? Like
That's
why is
my
she
channel right
making
now,
cookies?
honestly.
But then eventually you start also getting like the cooking people coming in, like, ooh, what is she doing? Like,
Mhm.
and then now you have like a mixed community of like different interests, and then that might even spark people that didn't initially have that interest either, but now they're like, oh,
True,
that's actually
true.
pretty cool.
Uh, I
And
mean,
also like your personal brand is basically all of those things, like it's you, like that's what
that's
you
true,
do.
that's true.
Yeah.
Thing is, I made a video, oh, one of my older videos. I deleted it now, but it was pretty much my family taking the 23andMe DNA test,
Hmm.
and that one got a lot of views, I think. Well, for my channel, it was like 40,000, and
That's a lot.
yeah, it got me like most of my subscribers. But then out of nowhere, one of my oldest videos, the one where I talk about like my old book, is really awful quality. I don't know why why, but out of nowhere it also surpassed that video. I
Really?
don't even know
Wow.
what it's at right now. Haven't checked in a while, but that got me a lot of subscribers. So I was for in a while like for gosh, for a while I was in this weird situation where like half the people following me were teen writers and the other half were people of all ages who are interested in like their ancestry. And it's just it didn't work very well. It was just very complicated. So I'm just trying to avoid that strange dynamic.
Hmm.
I think it's okay to have writers and entrepreneurs because technically writers are a lot of times
Yeah,
entrepreneurs.
because they're working for them, they're writing their
Yeah,
own stuff. Mm.
but I'm trying to avoid mixing two completely different audiences. If I can avoid
Hmm.
that, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's yeah, I can see that too, like you don't want like okay, it might be weird to do like for instance, I'm just gonna come up with something. Let's see. We'll go with knitting
Uh-huh.
and boxing. you know,
Right.
like those are two different dynamics. I mean, someone can probably tie those together somehow.
That'd be
Oh wait,
cool.
that's a thing. Actually, that just kind of popped in my
Really.
head. Like, as long as you can weave them together, I feel like you know what I mean.
That's true, that's
So
true.
it's a little bit more seamless, even though they're different topics. People have different interests, and like
Yeah.
if you can,
Some people just make it work. I don't know
yeah,
how they do it. I've been
that's
trying to
just kind of what
study
you got to
that,
do.
but
Yeah.
it's hard. I mean, do you know Luke Corns?
No,
The
I don't. Who is
YouTuber?
he?
Oh, okay. Well, he does like these challenge videos, sometimes he does vlogs, but his topics are all over the place, but just from his editing style, he makes it work. And so people are there just to see him, not really his content or
Hmm.
what it's about. So like gosh, I think you can tie it together with just like your personality and the style of your editing and stuff.
Like you, basically.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. But um I guess you just have to create some kind of consistency to weave it all together.
Yeah.
But like so in terms of your personal branding, how's that going for you?
Honestly, like I haven't. You can probably tell I haven't really posted in like a while.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's weird because I have some stuff that I'm going to like. I know how I have a plan of how I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
I feel like I run out of content to post. All right. Well, okay. You know what? Because by the time people watch this, that my podcast will be out already. But this gives me content to post.
True, true.
Like I can take snippets of this. That's plan is to take snippets of this, and that can be like my some more of my posts. Also, what I was thinking. I was
Mm.
actually gonna ask you. Do you think I should add like merge my photography into my main account? Because it's kind of
Actually, I
annoying like
think that
having
could
two separate accounts, and like two separate audiences on, and
I
some of them
don't
are the
I
same people too. It's like,
right, yeah.
yeah.
I don't think it would necessarily be annoying for, like, the people
No, I mean it's
who
annoying for
follow you,
me
but
to
annoying
like
for you.
switching
Yeah, yeah,
accounts and like
exactly.
people
I mean,
DM me on separate ones and
I have a kind of different situation, but I used to have, like, a personal account with my business account, but, I
Mhm.
mean, pretty much everyone on my personal account followed my business account too, and then you always get in that dilemma of, like, which account do I post this to?
Yeah.
So, I think, like, if it's gonna make it easier to manage for you, maybe just merge them.
Yeah, because honestly, like
Uh-huh.
for years, like I brought up the question like sometimes to like my friends and I even put a poll out one time like should I put my
Yeah.
photography on this page, like my main
Mhm.
page, and then the poll said like yeah, like 70 something percent at the time said like
Right.
yeah, and then because it's weird because some people follow me for on different things for photography and then or
Mhm.
for me because they know me and like
Right.
I think I'm just gonna merge them.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, the photography is just a part of you,
Hmm.
and even if they're not necessarily interested in the photography, if they're interested in the stuff you're working on, then they
Yeah,
probably won't mind seeing stuff like that.
and like another thing, this is just a minor thing, but like
Uh,
when people will used to tag me and like because I'm
oh,
in
yeah.
I'm in a photo for some reason like
Mhm.
whatever at prom or whatever and then
Uh,
they'll tag my photo account.
right.
They don't tag but it's supposed to be they meant to do the main one but
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
photo one. Yeah.
It gets kind of messy, huh?
Yeah, thing is though like you know what, never mind because I just had a
Hmm.
let's just bring this up too, might as well because it just came to my
Okay.
head. um Content.
Mhm.
Sometimes do you ever feel sometimes like yeah, this one's not good enough to to post? Do you have
Yes.
those?
Mhm. Definitely with YouTube, but yeah, also Instagram.
Because sometimes on my photography account, like I'll just because sometimes I need to put up more, like I want to put up more content,
Mhm.
but it might not be like my best work or something,
Mhm.
and yeah, I have because I think I archived a lot of them, but I just put so I have stuff up there like the post I would just have on my photography account, just like more photos. They're not necessarily like my favorite ones or anything, but like I just
Mm.
put them up there. Anyways, if I merge them onto my main account, should I just put like my favorite photos? You know what I mean? Like, how should that be?
Oh gosh. I mean, I guess you could start with your favorite photos. You probably wouldn't post them all at once, right? You'd kind of spread it
Yeah,
out
no.
again. Yeah, you could start with your favorite ones, and I feel like if you ever run out of content, just
Or even
throw them in
going
the beginning
forward, like
ones.
past, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
what I've kind of started doing is being more selective about what I do post.
Mhm.
Like I'm going back to like my photography page. Like I don't post every single thing from a meetup, for instance.
Right.
I've been more selective about that. I think I'm gonna probably continue that.
Mhm.
Through like while it's good to have more content, I feel like I'm still gonna do more of like my favorite ones. I guess.
Yeah. I think quality over quantity is always good, but also not to be too selective either
Yeah.
because
Then you're not
like
gonna
I
post.
mean, if I made sure that every one of my videos was like up to my standards of quality, I would probably never post. I always feel like, oh,
Yeah.
this could be better, but you could work on one video forever. It's just yeah, you have to be like a little bit less selective sometimes with the content that you put out.
Yeah, I feel like there's just a balance between quality and quantity.
Yeah, there definitely is.
Even with these, like I don't even like the podcast, like because the
Yeah,
audio version doesn't have visuals. You don't need to like do any fancy like effects and things. But
right.
on the YouTube version, I don't. It's not out yet. Like at the
Uh-huh.
time that we're recording this, but I was just gonna put this like literally just
Yeah,
the Zoom recording up on YouTube. I don't know yet if I want to do like any graphical things. But
right. Yeah, I know Gabe and I for our podcast, we were originally planning to do like the Zoom recording, but we
Mhm.
decided to because we're starting out, we want to focus on just the audio. So we're doing like waveforms, I guess,
I think I've
instead.
seen that on some music videos.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that the little.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean. I
yeah,
just can't
yeah,
describe
yeah.
it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So,
You
but
said exactly, but then I didn't describe it.
yeah.
We know in our heads like. Okay, sorry, I interrupted again.
No, it's good. I don't really know what I was gonna say.
Oh. Yeah, there's so much like to discuss about, like content creation and like marketing and like
Yeah, so much.
can you tell like I'm like invested into it. You know what I mean? Like I could go
Uh-huh.
for another hour. I just
That's
realized.
probably a good thing, but yeah, same. It's like I've spent so much time doing research and, like, trying to write out my plans and stuff. It's like I'm really
Or you
into
know
it too.
what?
It's just
Um I want to become more of a doer, because I'm a thinker. Like
uh-huh.
I have everything in here,
Right, right, right.
but doing them, like I'll get some of it done, like I'll put,
True, true. I think I'm
like
the
how
same way. It's like planning stuff gives you the feeling of, like,
that you are
accomplishing
doing
things, that
something.
you're, like, taking action, but in reality, it's, like, almost a form of procrastination, really.
Yeah. Like how have you been able to like get over that?
Um, I'm not really sure. I mean, I've been trying to be more consistent with YouTube. I'm kinda taking a break right now, but there have been moments in my past where I felt like I was conquering it because I was putting out YouTube videos more consistently. So, I feel like I do, but it kinda comes back, and I haven't been able to, like, fully take action all the time. I kinda get stuck in, like, this, what analysis paralysis type of stage where
It's
I'm like, now it's like you analyze stuff so much that you can't even do anything.
oh,
Like it
yeah.
happens
That's
with my
probably
books a
that
lot.
probably
I'm like I'm thinking overthinking everything and it's like I should just be writing and just not thinking about it too much.
I feel like that same thing happens to me
hmm
like pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Cuz there's times in my day like how come I didn't do this during these hours that I had? You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I could have, but like, I have I have a lot of time. Like I manage
Yeah.
it. Here's the thing, like I manage the actual work part well, but when
Mhm.
I'm not doing that, then it's just there, like that extra
Mhm.
time that like I'm actually I'm good at time management, but bad at it. You know?
Yeah, I feel like I might say the same. Like, I don't waste too much time just, like, watching Netflix and stuff. I mean, I do sometimes, but in general, I'm not doing that too much. But I feel like I'm working all day. But when I look back at my day, I didn't really accomplish too much. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm, like, spending too much time planning things or
Yeah,
doing
that's me.
research on stuff that,
Yeah, I do that.
like, doesn't matter as much as I think it does. Like, I think I have to what like, for example, I'll start doing research on, like, moving to Madrid and stuff. I mean, I'm not doing that for a year, but, because it's part of my future, I feel like I'm helping plan for it and stuff, but,
Yeah.
you know, I could be working on better things.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time just looking up stuff like that I'm gonna like researching, but I don't
Yeah,
need to be
yeah.
researching, I guess, or not
Exactly.
to like the extent that I am.
Yes, yes. I feel that.
Like I didn't even like I got these a while. Remember when I first told you about these? Like it was a while ago, right? Kind
I
of.
think it was because I hardly remember it.
And like I haven't started, the actual business around that yet. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's there,
yeah.
but it's just
Uh-huh.
yeah, working on that.
Yeah. Same with, like, Lost Island Press. I have so many ideas on where I could take that, but website hasn't changed. I
Okay.
I have all these documents of, like, my plans and, like, what I'm gonna do, but I just haven't done any of it. And it's also hard when you're working on so many different projects to, like, figure out what to
Yeah.
work on. Because I try to
I have a
work on
lot.
yeah. It's, like, impossible to work on everything every day because then you just make a tiny bit of progress on each and it just feels
And then it's like, wait, I
yeah,
didn't do
it's
anything. Like,
yeah,
feel
exactly.
like, yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
gosh.
Okay, here's our plan, okay?
Mhm.
Each week, let's hold each other accountable to like whatever we're working on.
Okay.
Okay? Like each week, let's set like
We focus on what, one
some
thing?
weekly goals to
Okay.
accomplish. They can be small, doesn't have to be huge or anything. And then each week we'll check in like, did you do it?
Alright, sounds like a good plan.
Let's do that. Because I think it helps.
Yeah. I mean, I write stuff down,
I
but
do,
if I
yeah,
don't
same.
accomplish it, I don't care because nobody knows that I'm a failure in my own goals.
I was telling you about like
Yeah.
the due dates on Trello, right?
Yeah.
I missed one to edit episode 2 of this
Uh-huh.
podcast, and yeah, it's still an unchecked box on there, even though it was due like when it was due on a Wednesday or something, but it's Saturday
Gosh,
now,
yeah.
so yeah.
Uh, dude, I've done worse. I have this other freelance project that I'm supposed to be working on, and like the person who hired me to do it is not in a rush or anything. Like I can pretty much do it with that whenever, and that's the issue. Is like I keep
Yeah.
putting it off so much.
It's like even like when I was in school, like they gave us a long due date, right? Like you
Mhm.
have ages away.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, okay, I have time, and then but really I end up doing it the night before, the whole
Mhm.
thing.
Yep.
It's like, what was I doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do the same thing with my actual goals
Mhm.
that I do with schoolwork. Procrastination. It's just
Something just just keep working toward.
mhm.
And also, I guess we shouldn't be as critical on ourselves as we are.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, hey, we probably are actually getting things done, but it's just not at where we want
Yeah.
to.
It's so weird because you don't wanna be, like, too hard on yourself, but you also wanna, like,
You don't
do
want to be too
better,
lazy and stuff.
and it's like, you can't really gauge if you're if you're doing well, you know? It's like,
Yeah,
when do
that's
you
another
stop?
thing, because there's no like like threshold to tell you
Yeah,
like, hey,
exactly.
we're here now. Like
Mhm.
we're like 25% done. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean,
Like
maybe for each individual task, but not for like the big picture, I guess.
mhm. Like, my mom, she doesn't plan or anything, she just goes with the flow all the time. She sees my planners and my obsessive notes, and she's like, you're doing too much, you're taking this too far." But, like, am I really? I don't know.
I actually don't have an answer for
Yeah.
that. Yeah, we can't really know,
Yeah.
for something like that. But as long as just we're doing our best, I guess.
Yeah. Are
I
we?
think. Oh, here we go again.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we don't know.
Mhm.
I guess that's part of it, though.
I have a question.
Okay,
What does success mean to you?
success.
Yeah.
I would ask in terms of what, but then like, wait, that's basically the question. For me, when I say like I want to be successful,
Yes.
definitely want to be happy. Like that's number one.
Mhm.
Um, I do want to be like well off because I need that to fuel everything. Like
Mhm.
that's our society. You need money in society. I mean, I need
Yeah.
to be. Plus, I need that to fund all my things that I'm doing, whatever all these
Yeah.
branches coming out of the tree. Like I need water. you
Yes.
Um, well, I feel like I wrote this down because I've written this a few times in my notes. Like,
Same,
what does it
same.
mean to be, like
Uh-huh.
that's what I guess that's what success looks like. But that's not like my that's not my entire end goal. You know what I mean? But that's just like
Mhm.
where I would see. Oh, here, health, wealth, and happiness. There, there,
That's pretty nice. Yeah.
there we go. Yeah, that's because you need all of them. Because how
It's
can you be
true.
happy if you're not healthy? If you're like sickly in bed and you can't do anything. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
kind of need all of those. And like, how can you fund your endeavors or like like do all these things if you don't have the money to do that?
Mhm.
Or how can or what does it mean to have the money and the health if you're not happy? You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
you need all three of those, in my opinion.
Right. So, like, do you ever feel like you're gonna be in a place where you will feel successful? Because I know
What
from
do you
my
mean?
experience, like, for example, I published my book and there was a lot of work that went into it. I felt pretty successful, was very happy. It was like a lot of adrenaline within like the course of a week. And then it just died off and I still feel like I'm chasing the next goal. Like do you think we'll ever reach like an end?
No,
Or do you
I
think this
don't.
just happens till we die? Because I'm starting to
Yeah,
lean
pretty
towards
much.
that. Like, we're
Because
chasing success, but will we ever reach it? Are we ever going to be happy with where we are?
I feel okay. Yes and no, I would say.
Okay.
Because I feel like I would be satisfied. Like if I'm working towards, if I'm on that pathway towards it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Then yeah, I'll be glad that I'm on that pathway. Working towards it. And like the process and journey of that. I feel like that is something that would be make me happy because you're working towards that your own dreams that you want to achieve.
Mhm.
Oh, I lost my train of because I had another thought like going this way, but I was telling
Yeah,
you one of them.
right.
Where it's gone now. But um, what was I gonna say? I'm trying to think. Well, success. Okay, right. About each milestone of multiple successes, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Going back to that. So, like even last night, because we had a turnout of like 30 something people for the meetup, and I felt pretty successful then. Like last night, and like
Yeah.
wow, we did this.
Mhm.
Because it's been a while since we had such a big turnout like that. And but now it's kind of like okay, now back to building it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I feel like we are gonna have multiple successes or milestones, of success, but we're still always gonna be chasing success. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Like, yeah, we're gonna have moments where like, hey, this is cool. Like I did this, accomplishments.
Mhm.
But I don't think we're ever gonna reach an end goal, but I think that's the end goal is to never reach the end goal, you know?
True, true. I see what you mean.
But still be constantly working towards it, you know, not like be stuck and then like,
Right.
now what? Like constantly working towards it.
Yeah, just never satisfied, but
Well, not
moments,
really that,
small
but more
moments of
like,
satisfaction.
I mean, being satisfied in a different way, not that you're never satisfied, more like, okay, I reach this point in my life. Let's just say like, Malad Media blows up and then like, I'm doing well, I'm doing all these things, my ventures and all that. I'm inspiring people and all of that.
Mhm,
Like, I'd be happy about that. Like I'm good. I'd be happy that I've reached that point.
mhm.
Like it could end there. Like, I mean it could. But at the same time, there's pieces of me that are like, wait, what about we take it one more step? Like always one
Right.
more step. But like that doesn't mean
Mhm.
I'm not satisfied, but it means like I guess that does mean I'm not satisfied, huh? But I mean like I could be. It's more like I could be, but then like, why not go one more step? Like why
Right.
like
Do you think everyone's like that? Or do you
no,
think what?
no, I
Yeah.
don't.
And I wonder if it's like part of me thinks it's a really good thing, but another part of me thinks that it's not. I don't know. Like, have you seen The Greatest Showman?
Yes.
Yeah, I really related to that. It's like he was constantly chasing more and more
I
fame
think
and
it
money and
depends.
just success.
Mhm.
But then at the end, he realized that, you know, he didn't need all of it.
Right.
I
What it
don't
comes
I don't
down
know.
to, I think, is, your intentions and like the why, and also yeah, pretty much your intentions and, the context behind it.
Right.
For instance, if people are chasing like, just say money, for instance, if people are chasing
Mhm.
that because they want to buy stuff, like, you've probably seen that quote, like buying things that you don't need to impress people you don't like. I'm sure you've
Mhm.
probably heard that. Like if people are doing that basically, then that's a negative of more and more and more.
Right.
But if you're doing it with the intention of like, hey, like, you know what, let me build a bigger legacy than what I have now, like I want to do, you know what I mean, like if you're doing it, if your intent is more of like, if you have more of like a selfless intent, or even,
Right. I
I
see.
mean, I guess it is your legacy that you're building and stuff, but if you do it for the greater benefit of like, a lot of people, yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
then it's good to that you want impact at a greater scale.
Mhm. And I think people see that too. Like they can sense whether you're doing it just for yourself or if you have like better intentions.
Yeah.
What do you think drives you? Like why what are you what's your mission?
My mission for what?
Yeah, your life goal, your life mission. Why are you so
I
interested in like your entrepreneurship stuff?
Because it just came to me like, I only have one life to live, or so they say, until like, well, I kind of want someone to revive me later on, when I have
Yeah,
the technology, cryo technology or
it'd
whatever,
be
and like
nice.
so I can see like, oh, this is pretty cool, they got like flying cars and all this, but
Mhm.
like that would be cool. I want someone to do that for me later on. But anyways, um, as far as we know right now, as whatever, we only have this one life to do stuff, and I'm kind of like, I don't want to waste it, like I want to be somebody, like I don't want to just
Yeah.
live an average
Mhm.
life of just like, like no. I mean, people that I see people that want to do that, that's fine. That's their
Yeah,
choice
yeah.
too. Maybe that they're satisfied with that, but for me, I don't want to. Like, I want to impact something. Like I don't want to just be because I'm here to do something. Like I want to impact on a greater scale,
I feel that.
or like I want to uh, cliche term, but like I want to live life to the fullest, and like I don't just want to do average things. I want to change. Like, everyone wants to change the world, right? But
Mhm.
It's just it's kind of like an urgency, I guess,
Yeah.
of like, we have limited years and like who knows
Mhm.
how long that is, but I want to make the most of it. And I want to do that by, building a giant empire and stuff. But
Right.
yeah, what about you?
Honestly, I relate to everything you said. Like, I just really want to feel like my life wasn't meaningless, I guess. And there's people who find satisfaction in just like getting a normal job and starting a
Hmm.
family and just living happily. But I don't know. It's just I don't think that's for me.
Yeah, me
I
too.
just yeah. There's so
It's
much I
like,
want to do.
yeah, there's so much to do. Like,
Yeah.
like, there, why would you settle for this? But
I
there's like
know.
billions of other things. Like
I
there's so
know.
many things to do.
Like,
But
I know there's a lot of people who don't like traveling and just
yeah,
aren't
which is fine.
interested
That's
in
understandable.
travel, but it's like, in my case, there's so many places I wanna see, and,
I've
like,
been in the bubble of
gosh.
Orange County my whole life, pretty much,
Mhm.
and I haven't seen the world. You know what I mean? Like I do
Yeah.
want to go. Like what's outside? Like
Yeah, exactly.
it's like I don't know. I feel like I can make a book or movie reference, but like what's on the other side of like the
Mhm.
I can't think of one right now for some reason, but there's plenty. Or okay, Maze Runner. Like what's outside of the maze?
Right.
Yeah, there's just so much to do. Like why not do it? Like
Yeah,
or
exactly.
do as much as I
Mhm.
can, I guess. I
Wow.
feel like we're on the same page about like.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of stuff.
Mhm. I had a thought about it. It went already again.
Alright.
It was what was it about?
Mission or
Here, bring something up while I think about it. Well, I'll be
um,
listening and thinking about it at the same time.
I don't know if you can do that.
I've been doing that the past hour.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm not sure. Hmm.
Oh, I remembered.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I feel like I live comfortably, like, like throughout my life,
Mhm.
haven't really had struggles and stuff, but I don't know, I kind of want to struggle a little bit. I want to learn. You know what I mean? Like I kind of you understand what I'm saying? Or
I guess I see what you mean, yeah.
it's because like,
You want a challenge?
yeah, because like, school was easy. Like I didn't really, I didn't study or anything. And I didn't, so that
Uh-huh.
wasn't much of a challenge, but like I want like real life challenge. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in the world, because
I
I'm
think
I'm curious to see like how I would do. Like what, okay,
yeah,
what would I do in this
exactly.
situation? I want to learn work ethic because like that's something I obviously lack. Um, I mean, of course, it's scary and it's like risky, but I want to learn how to do that,
It's true.
how to life.
Yeah, same. I wanna learn how to
Yeah.
life too. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why I decided to move abroad. I mean,
Hmm.
that it would be so much more comfortable for me to just go to college and just, do that, but I'm moving.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like, I don't know if how well I'm gonna handle that, but I'm interested in finding out. It's
Hmm.
kinda like that same thing. Like
Thing is, we can always go back too.
yeah, exactly.
Like it's there. Like the net is there already.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just really want to experience. I do and I don't want to experience like the hardships. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
of course, people don't like them, and like you're supposed to avoid them, right? Like,
Mhm.
but at the same time, like I would never know
Right.
how it is. So
Oh, sorry, can you see me? Someone
yeah,
just
you're good.
popped up on my screen. Okay. Shoot, there was something I was gonna say to that. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. When I was asking my older sister who didn't go to college but is pretty successful right now, when I was asking her about, um, like, for advice on what to choose, she pretty much told me that, like, you know, either way it'll turn out fine, but like if you do choose entrepreneurship, you'll make it work because you have to.
Right.
Like you just don't have the safety net. And like when now I just think of that quote whenever I'm like scared about doing something or like taking that risk, I'm like, well, I'll make it work because I have to.
Right.
It's like,
And I feel the opposite of it, like right now, like with my
uh,
projects and stuff, because like I don't need to make them work at this moment. You
right.
know what I mean? Like
Uh,
there's not much of an urgency to make them work. If that
yeah, I
makes
see
sense.
what you mean.
So it's okay if I miss a day. You know what I mean? Like mentally,
Hmm.
it's like psychologically, it's okay if I miss a day of not, like networking on social media. You know what I mean? Like because
Hmm.
it doesn't have much of an impact on my lifestyle at the moment. You know what I mean?
Hmm. No, yeah, I see what you mean.
That's why I kind of want to enter that life and then like so I can figure it out.
Hmm. True.
So I do the things that I
Yeah,
want. You know what I mean?
I
Because
think it's kind of it's also kind of scary to not pursue the entrepreneurship like wholeheartedly because then you not probably not everyone, but like some people might get stuck just going into a traditional path and like thinking that they'll eventually pursue what they want to do but never actually doing it because they just get too comfortable or
hmm
something. I don't know.
yeah,
I
I don't even know what I'm gonna do about all that. But
mean, you'll figure it out.
thing is, I don't have to. Like unlike you because you have to, but like I
Right.
don't technically don't have to. You know what I mean?
That's true.
But
Well,
that's why it's
I
like
think you'll figure it out.
I mean, if you keep me accountable, like we'll keep each other accountable for things. But yeah. Um. Wow. How long have we been doing this?
Oh
About an
no,
hour.
no idea. Oh, okay. Wow.
Okay. Well, I'll wrap it up and then we can talk. Well, I
All
should have
right, all
paused
right.
that. I should have paused. Well, whatever. I'll delete it later.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, any last uh any last mentions that you want to say before we wrap it up?
I don't think so. It was a pretty good conversation. It's nice to
Yeah,
talk
like
about stuff
at
like this.
first towards the beginning I was kind of, I feel like I wanted to really talk about entrepreneurship and then but at the same time I was like I should keep this more on the creator side, like but then
Yeah.
again because it's the same it still is
It's all
creating,
related.
yeah,
Yeah.
and plus we talked about content and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm glad that was cool, like,
Great. Yeah. Thanks for having me.
yeah,
That was fun.
thanks for joining us on Creator Cafe today. And everyone, if you're watching the visual version, I'll put Mel's Instagram, YouTube, whatever on the screen or something. So, check her out. She's really cool. And anyways, stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks.